messages. One of the new features in Outlook 2013 is the ability to sort your emails by conversation. It helps you to keep your inbox more organized, and you can also see what's being discussed in emails. By default, the conversations feature is turned off. We're going to show you how to turn it on, how it works, and how you can use it. Right now, your emails are simply organized by date, as in the inbox shown here. To view your emails by conversations, click on the View tab. Then put a check mark in the box Show as Conversations in the ribbon. A box will appear asking you what folders you want to show as conversations. Since we only have one email account tied to Outlook, we're just going to select this folder. If you have more than one email account, you may want to select all folders. Now, emails within a conversation will have a white triangle beside them. You can click on the triangle to view all the emails in the conversation. You can also edit the way you view conversations. Go back to the View tab and click on Conversation Settings. In the drop-down menu, you can choose to show the sender of the email above the subject line, expand conversations so they're not collapsed, or indent conversations as they go down like threads in an online discussion board. Sometimes you can get emails that don't pertain to you. Perhaps they did at one point, but as the conversation drags on between multiple people, the topics of the email are no longer relevant in your corner of the world. Perhaps, for example, John, Jane and you are emailing about Project A. After a few emails between the three of you, John and Jane start talking about Project B, which you're not working on. Instead of having to look at those conversations in your inbox, you can ignore them so you don't have to see them at all. To do this, select the message in your inbox. Click on the Home tab and then click Ignore. You'll then see a dialog box asking you to confirm you want to ignore the conversation. Click the Ignore Conversation button. An auto signature is something that is automatically put at the end of every email you send. It might just be your name, so you don't have to type it out each time you create an email. It could be your name, phone number, and address. However, it could also be something such as a favorite quote or saying. Whatever it is, it becomes your signature, so to speak, because it appears at the end of all your emails, just like your name would appear at the end of a handwritten letter. Putting an auto signature at the end of your emails is totally optional. However, if you want to do it, click on the File tab and then click on the options to the left. Click on the Mail category on the left, then go down to the Create or Modify Signatures for Messages section, which is just below the spell check. Click on the Signatures button. The Signatures and Stationery dialog box will now appear. To add a new signature, click on the New button under the Select Signature to edit. Enter a name for the signature and click OK. On the right, select the email account for which you want to add the signature to. Also select if you want to add it to new messages and replies and forwards in the Choose Default Signature box. You can also add a business card as your signature by clicking on Business Card. Now in the Edit section at the bottom of the window, you can create your signature by simply clicking in the box and starting to type. You can also add a business card as your signature by clicking on the Business Card button. If you select this option, you'll see this window here. If you have added yourself as a contact, you can select your contact as a business card and click on the OK button. When you're finished, click on OK. When you set the level of importance for a message, you tell the recipient if the message needs their attention quickly or if they just can read it later. Your recipients will know if you've set a level of importance by a visual indicator in their inbox. You can also add a sensitivity setting. This advises the recipient on how to treat the contents of your email message. To change the importance level, inside your email, click on the Message tab. In the Options group, select High Importance or Low Importance. You can toggle these on and off by clicking on them again. This changes the importance level for just one email message. Either the red exclamation mark or the blue downward arrow will appear in the recipient's email inbox. I can see how it appears by selecting High Importance and sending the email to myself. Read and delivery receipts are just as they sound. A read receipt is a receipt that you can request that will tell you when the recipient of an email has opened and viewed the email. On the other hand, a delivery receipt will let you know when the email has been delivered to the recipient's email server. To request a read receipt or a delivery receipt for all emails you send, go to the File tab and then click on Options. Select the Mail category on the left, then scroll down to the Tracking section. If you want a notification when emails are delivered, put a check mark next to the delivery receipt confirming the message was delivered to the recipient's email server, which is the first option. If you want to read receipt, put a check mark next to the second option, which is read receipt confirming the recipient viewed the message. Click OK. You can also have replies sent to someone else. Let's say you send out an email for your boss. Since the email is from your boss and you're just sending it out for him, you do not want the recipient to reply to you. Instead, you want the recipient to reply to your boss. In Outlook 2013, this is easy to do. In your email messages window, click on the Options tab. In the More Options group on the far right, click the Direct Replies To button. In the Delivery Options section, add the email address of the person you want the replies directed to in this box here. You can click on the Select Names button to select names from your contacts or type an email address in. Once you've finished, click Close. Now, if anyone replies to this email, it will be sent to the person you've specified instead. You can also request that Outlook 2013 not send a certain message before a specified date. Outlook will wait, then send your message on the date you requested. At the same time, Outlook 2013 can mark an unread message as expired after a specified date. An expired message will have a line through it. This is helpful for time-sensitive materials, for example, announcing a meeting, so that once the day has passed, there's a line through the email and the recipient knows he or she doesn't have to bother about reading it. To set the expires after or do not deliver before options, go to the Options tab in your email window. In the More Options group, click on the grey arrow at the bottom right side. Go down to the Delivery Options section. If you don't want your message delivered before a specified time, put a check mark before the Do Not Deliver Before and set the appropriate time and date. If you want the message to expire, put a check mark before the expires after and set the specified date and time. After you've set your options, click Close. As you can see at the top of the message, the Delay Delivery and Direct Replies To have been highlighted in blue because those options are set. To turn them off, just click on the button again. You can then uncheck those checkboxes to turn off those options. Outlook 2013 provides you with a way to add voting buttons to the emails you send. When you add voting buttons, people who read the messages can vote for options that you give in the email. You get the votes returned to you as a special email message. To add voting buttons to an email, start a new email or look at an existing one you're creating. Click on the Options tab and then click on the Use Voting buttons in the Tracking group. Now you get a list of voting options. You can select one of these options. These are the options your recipients will have when they vote. For example, the Yes/No option means they can vote for yes or no. Once you select an option, you'll see a message saying you've added a voting button to your email. It appears above the To line. Now you can send the message and your recipients can vote. You'll receive special email messages letting you know how each recipient voted. In Outlook 2013, you can flag messages that require action, either as a reminder to you or to a recipient. It's a way of saying, hey, you need to take care of this now, without actually saying it or putting it in the body of an email. In fact, you or a recipient will see the message is flagged for action even without opening the message. Here's how you flag messages in Outlook 2013. To flag a message as a reminder to yourself to follow up with the recipient about the email, go to the Messages tab inside an email, and inside the Tags group, click on Follow Up. Depending on the type of email account you have, you might get the flag message option, or you can get multiple options such as today, tomorrow, this week, or next week. Choose an appropriate option and then click on it. When you do that, you'll see a message in the email above the To line saying it's flagged to be followed up. If you want to be reminded about the flagged message so you don't forget to follow up, go back to the follow up and click on the Add Reminder if it appears in the drop-down list. Choose when you want Outlook to remind you. At the same time that you select, Outlook will display a pop-up dialog box with your reminder, then click OK when you're finished. When that box appears, choose when you want Outlook to remind you. At the same time that you select, Outlook will display a pop-up dialog box with your reminder. Once you've done that, you can click OK when you're finished. To flag messages for recipients of the email, go to the Messages tab, click on the Follow Up in the Tags group, and click on Custom. If this option doesn't appear, it means that your email account doesn't support this option. In the dialog box that appears, the Flag for Me box will be checked by default. If you don't want to flag this message for you, uncheck it. Put a check in the Flag for Recipients, then enter your information, then click OK. There's now a note in your email letting you know that you flagged it for the recipient. When a recipient receives the email, they'll see an icon. It will be displayed within the email in the Information Viewer. You can also flag messages in the Information Viewer. You can flag sent or received messages. If you want to flag received messages, go to your inbox, and if you want to flag sent messages, go to your sent items folder. These are both displayed in the folder pane. Now select the email you want to flag by clicking on it. When you hover your mouse over the selected email, you'll see a little grey flag appear on the right side. Right-click on the flag and flag it the same way we've done earlier. If you flag a lot of messages, you can set options for one-click flagging. This means you can flag messages with just a click of the mouse and not having to go through all the steps we did above. To do this, select the email in the information viewer that you want to flag. Hover your mouse and then right-click on the grey flag. Choose the Set Quick Click from the drop-down menu, if it shows. If it doesn't show, it means your email account is not compatible with this feature. A dialog box will appear that allows you to set the flag that appears when you click on the flag with your left mouse button. Select the option and click OK. By definition, quick steps are one-click buttons that allow you to perform several actions at once. For example, if you file your mail into folders before you even read it, then you can just do one click and have your mail marked as read and filed away for you. Let's say you send email to the same people frequently. Just one click and you can send a new email to those people instead of digging through your address book. You can configure quick steps the way you want to make the things you do quicker and easier. Okay, so let's dig in and let's use our mail filing example to learn how to do quick steps. We're going to use this example because it's proven that more than 70% of people file away mail into folders. Before quick steps, you dragged and dropped it into the appropriate folder after marking it red, or you right-clicked and select Move to Folder. Quick steps makes it a lot easier. Select an email you want to file into a folder. Let's say you get a lot of emails from that Jane Doe that you file. Select a message from her and then right-click on that message in your inbox. We're going to show you two different ways to create a quick step so you know exactly how to create your own quick steps. Method 1. If you right-click on a message and select Quick Steps from the drop-down menu, and then select New Quick Step, and then move to Folder. Enter a name for the quick step. Our name is going to be set to Move to Myself because this email is actually for my own account. Now we're going to check the boxes for the Move to Folder and mark as red, and then specify the right folder. The second method involves creating a new quick step and determining the actions for it. Select the quick steps from the drop-down menu just as we did above. Right-click, Quick Steps, and then Create New. Enter a name for the quick step and then select an action. We've chosen New Message. Now we're asked to specify a recipient. Add in a recipient here. We can now add more actions. We can also create a shortcut key to activate this quick step. Click Finish when you're done setting the options. Now click on the Home tab and look in the Quick Steps group. This is where you find the preset quick steps as well as the ones you create. You can see our quick step added above here. Now all we need to do is click on this quick step button to take those actions. If you get a lot of spam or junk email, you can make it so you don't even have to look at it in your inbox. To assign mail to junk, go to the Home tab and in the Delete group, click on Junk. If you select an email in your inbox, don't open the email, just click once on it. You can choose to block the sender so you don't get the email messages, never block the sender, never block the sender's domain, which is the name after the @ sign, or never block the group or mailing list. You can see these options in the drop-down menu. Remember, you have to have an email selected in the information viewer. If you don't, all these will be grayed out. Then choose an option. You can also click on the junk email options to be more specific. Under the Options tab, you can tell Outlook what you want to do with junk mail. If you click on Safe Senders, you can make sure mail that's important to you is never marked as junk by adding those names to the list. Under the Safe Recipients tab, you can make it so that anyone you send an email to will not be put on your junk mail list. Under the Blocked Senders tab, you can list email addresses that will always be treated as junk mail. Under the International tab, you can block emails written in different languages or those with foreign domain codes such as DE or CA. After you make changes, make sure you click Apply so the changes are saved and take effect. You can also save an interrupted message. It's bound to happen. You start to create a new email message but you don't have time to finish it, or you need more information to add to it before you send it. These types of messages can be saved in your Drafts folder in the Folders pane. Simply click on the File tab in the email message and click Save. The email will be saved to your Drafts folder. You can also save a message as a file and save it to a location on your computer. To do this, open up the message, go to the File tab and choose Save As. Choose the location where you want it saved and then the format you want it saved as. And then click on the Save button. Messages that you send are stored in your Sent folder in the Folders pane. However, you can also specify the folder where you want to store a copy of the message that you sent. Here's how. Open up a new email and go to the Options tab. In the More Options group, click on Save Sent Item To and then click on Other Folder. Choose the folder you want to save it to or create a new folder by clicking on the New button. And then click OK when you're finished.